It is fitting that we discuss the tension between the sacred and the profane, the tension at the heart of religion, in the context of a dance concert. Since motion is perhaps the original, most basic expression of individual will, the self wills the body through space, inner as well as outer. It is thus hardly surprising that the language of profanity is overwhelmingly a language of the body. From the perfectly evocative world of obscene gesture to the actual spoken language, with its endless maudlin, tawdry invocations of procreation and elimination. Procreation and elimination. Again, it is no surprise that the willful control of these functions is in our society indicative of a move from a corrupted natural infancy towards a purified adulthood, and that lack of control or a disdainful disregard for the control of these functions is seen as a sure indicator of pre- or antisocial tendencies. Thus we can understand the great distrust of dance, where the body and its functions, its peculiar life apart from what we would have it be, what Lucille Clifton would call the things themselves, are made central, stylized and idealized so that we can observe in others what we often cannot see in ourselves, the beauty of the body, the calm poetry of its imperatives. For central to the theology of all the religions of our so-called civilizations is a more or less adversarial attitude towards nature and the world. While they may disagree on the severity or form of the adversarial relationship, all would, I think, agree that to merely live in nature in an unchanged, unmodified state is not the way that we as humans were meant to live. That the true calling for human beings is away from gross existence toward some detached, abstracted world of holiness. Dance is one of the chief of what I like to call the campfire arts, which is to say that it is very old, terrifyingly old, and so also to say that its inception and evolution are inseparably commingled with the evolution of our entire communal life, with culture itself, and thus with the campfire. For after all, what is the true font of community? The real traditional family values? Just this. The kitchen table and the campfire, the feeding and the being fed, mind as well as body. That's where it all starts. Everyone sitting around enjoying the contented feeling in their stomachs after a delicious dinner of nuts, berries, roots, and grubs. And maybe Uncle Fred starts telling ghost stories, or Cousin Irma starts doing an interpretive dance, recreating the great fermented elderberry party of 2 years ago. And maybe Fred gets a little graphic in his description of the ghost's anatomy. Or maybe Irma gets a little caught up in a recreation of drunken abandon, and a few of the older tribe members are shocked. But they just go to bed or cover the children's eyes. It's not like they cut off Irma's funding or anything. Real communities don't work that way. But whoever said that we live in a real community? Only people peddling something. And that's why they don't want to see us dance together. What would happen to our economy if people suddenly realized how much fun they could have how much they could get done for free. No more political scientists, no more conflict resolution mediators, just a great big dance floor and a double-sided tape of some late 60s Motown. For as the Reverend Jesse Jackson once said, if a man can't dance in church, where can he dance? Where indeed? And the powers that be, they don't want to see us dancing, much less together. If you've ever watched what passes for dancing on MTV, it's all edited together in that post-Bob Fosse, all that jazz, hyperkinetic style that renders the dance effectively meaningless. It's impossible to get a sense of a person occupying space or what the dancer is trying to say with their body. Just a dizzying series of tit and ass shots, reducing dance to a prurient athletic display of hard bodies. The perfect visual metaphor for our exploitative image is everything society. But hardly dancing.